Subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon and never miss an update from Latestly.
Well, Najwa, thanks a lot for joining us on latestly.com.
Thank you.
First of all, congratulations on your success of Kabir Singh.
Thank you.
But we are talking today about this dramatic kind of larger than life kind of role, but it also has real accounts to it. Of course, we're talking about State of Siege on ZEE5. What does it feel like to be on OTT platform? I mean, celluloid to OTT. You like the transition?
I don't think there's anything different for an actor. You're still shooting the same thing. You're still shooting the same way.
Correct.
And you can play the series even on big screen. So there's no difference as such. The difference would have been if it looked different from a film. You know, if it looked like how a normal television series looks, then you would say, okay, fine, this is very different. But similarly, you can watch a film on a small screen, a feature, and you would say, big deal, you know. But considering OTT has become so huge, OTT has become so content driven, so many stories, so many different platforms, so much of content is being displayed on OTT. And I'm lucky and I'm fortunate and I'm very happy, in fact, most of all, to have started on a digital space with something as exciting as State of Siege 2611.
What took you so long? I mean, you have been in the industry and have played so many roles on celluloid. What does it take for an OTT platform? What kind of elements you looking for in order to get your foot in?
A great story. A great story, at the same time, an exciting story like 2611. Because I'm not just playing any fictional character, I'm playing a real life commanding officer who was a hero of the Black Tornado operation, who led the whole unit of NSG to neutralize the situation. And the good part is that we have made it almost close to reality as much as we could.
Yeah.
And
close to the book as well, because
close
this is
to the
based
book
on
yes, it is.
Black Tornado.
I'm saying,
the book.
if at all there is some liberty somewhere you've taken, that's, I think, forgivable. But at the same time, I would say, to start off, I wanted to look at something more exciting than just being a part of any kind of series.
Yeah. Is this more up your alley or is it not?
It's
Because so
absolutely
far
up
we
my
have
alley.
seen you in this urban, suave, polished
Yeah.
kind of characters, and suddenly you're playing this dramatic character which is very close to real life.
You know, honestly speaking, this is what I should have been doing. This is up my alley. This is my space. What I'm doing now in State of Siege. I always wanted to do it, but I never came across something like this. So it was not a deliberate thing to play this suave urbane characters. Those characters just came my way. Those films just came my way, and I had to choose from what I was being offered. And luckily, whatever I chose from what I was being offered also worked in my favor, because I happened to work with the most celebrated people like Mani sir, Madhur Bhandarkar, Mohit Suri, Neeraj Pandey sir's film Rustam, and even Kabir Singh. So I can boast of that 4-5 blockbusters, are in my kitty. But as an actor, as a space that you look for, this was always my space to be, and I'm glad it's come now finally.
How important it is to break the mold that you're already into, to come out of it and to step into a newer one. The zone is completely refreshing. What goes into that transition?
Getting a chance. There's no rocket science to it.
No.
There's no mind to it. There's no planning to it. It's just what you're offered. It's as simple. And let me break this bubble of people saying, oh, I wanted to reinvent myself. You don't reinvent yourself. You get reinvented
Correct.
by the kind of work that you offered. And that's it. People keep doing one kind of work because that's the kind of work they get offered. It's not their choice that you are planning to kind of just stick to one genre.
What is your memory of 2611? It's a dark day in our calendar
Yes.
for the entire country, if not exactly the world. What are your emotions are like to the stories involved, to the part that you have played, and life as is? What are your thoughts?
This, I would say, 2611 is a 9/11 of our country. How 9/11 happened for US. 2611 is the 9/11 of India, where you caught unaware, where there's a huge terror attack on our country. It's a scar on our country. It's I would say, in a way, failure of intelligence also, because we are capable, we are equipped to kind of avert any kind of attack like this. But somewhere something went wrong for sure. For somebody as minuscule as 10 terrorists who came by a boat to come and infiltrate into our country. Look at the audacity. Do you think considering the country India is, the country, our defense forces are the 4th best in the world,
Absolutely.
that somebody would have the audacity to take a chance like this? So somewhere, some conspiracy, some kind of, I would say, lapse has happened. And it's a failure on our part. We shouldn't have let it happen at all. But I think we learned a lot, huge lesson from that. Especially you will realize by when I say a huge lesson from it, in terms of NSG also. When you see the series, you will know what I'm talking about. And my memory, I would say, is not very great about it because it made me angry, it made me frustrated. I was at home at that time and I wanted to go out and party with my friends, go out for dinner. And suddenly we got to know that there's a shootout happening in downtown, and we all decided that let's take a break. By the time we're taking a break, you get to know that it's kind of the magnitude become bigger. Shootout at different places happening. And then you get to know that beyond Marriott, JW Marriott in Juhu, you're not even allowed. The police has barricaded the place and you're not allowed to go beyond that. And that's when we got to know the gravity of the situation. And honestly speaking, it made me so angry that I wanted to, when I got to know there's a terror attack and these people have come with AK-47s and they're like spraying bullets at random people, innocents. I wanted to pick up a rifle and get into it. How dare you have the audacity to do something like that? It made me really, really angry. And who knew, a couple of years down the line, you will be portraying something who actually picked up a rifle against these people, even though it's on celluloid. But yeah, it's...
So I must ask you, did you channelize that anger that you had in your mind back in the day? All those emotions and all that pent up energy, did that find its expression, its way in portraying this character?
It did, of course it did. But at the same time, more than portraying just a character or a role, it was a bigger responsibility to play it right. You get excited to play the role, you get excited to be a part of something as dramatic as this. But at the same time, you got to be responsible enough to not go wrong with what you're portraying. It's not a fictional series, it's not fictional characters, it's real life people. And such a celebrated commanding officer as Colonel Sunil Sharon, who was a hero of the whole unit. He drove the whole unit, and finally he got into active combat picking up a gun. So you don't want to let him down in any way possible. So all the efforts, all the energies, all the training, all the learning, all the studying about what happened and how he did it, went into it for sure.
We hear that you lost your hearing capacity for a day or two when you were shooting for that one particular shot where there was explosion happening. And instead of VFX, you actually chose to have real explosions.
No. It was not like that. It was basically the squibs which are used, which give you a bullet effect with the electric charges. So they were put, 2-3 squibs were put around a wall where I was supposed to be hiding in a sequence. I fire and then I duck and I take a cover of a wall. And then those 2 fires happen towards my side. So on screen you show those squibs going off, which are portraying a bullet being fired at you. So they were right next to my ear, and without any provocation or knowledge, they kind of exploded them. So even though it's just as big explosion as a Diwali cracker, but if it's going to explode right next to your ear, it is going to cause a lot of damage. So a couple of hours, I had the whistle going on in my left ear, even though we had to continue shoot. But 1 ear was, I could hear a rustling sound. I could have a little deafening effect in 1 ear for some time. And automatically your body recovers after some time,
Hope you're well, right?
Yeah, of course.
Tell me, why this particular episode or why this particular event do you feel that there is a need to portray it? Is this a dramatic story that you want to tell? Is there a message underneath that? What is it?
It's all things, you asked a good question, it's all things put together. It's a dramatic story you want to tell, it's a message also. Because most of the time people do not know what exactly went into the rescue operations of 2611. All the films, series, documentaries, anything that we have seen about this episode have been from the point of view of people who suffered, sacrificed their lives, who died, unfortunate overall. But nobody has really portrayed or told stories of people who rescued the city. So a big salute, first of all, has to go to the Indian Defence Services, especially the NSG commandos, who kind of neutralized the whole situation, rescued the city, saved the day. Nobody's really given them that much due credit, importance that should be given. They have not been shown in this episode doing their job in that detail ever. And this is the first time we are showing it from the point of view of those brave hearts, those brave commandos of the Indian Army who actually neutralized the whole situation. So this is a tribute to the defense services, at the same time the reality of the situation, which people in detail need to know, who they don't know about.
Raja, thanks a lot for talking to us.
Pleasure, thank you.
Wish you all the best for this one.
Thank you, thanks.